Hello everyone and welcome to episode 6 of my Python beginners course. In this video I will teach you about operators in Python. Let's get started. So operators in Python are split into multiple sections. The first of those are arithmetic operators. So these are the basic operators such as plus, minus, times and divide. So if I were to type A equals 3 and B equals 4, I could type print A plus B, and then it would type 7 because A plus B equals 7. And I could do the same thing with minus, and I could also do it with times, which is a star, and divide, which is a line. So print A times B. I could also type print A divided by B. And that would give us 0.75. There are also 3 others. So modulus is the remainder of a division. And the way you type modulus is with a percentage sign. So print A percentage sign B, which is modulus. And you get 3 because that's the remainder, and these aren't good numbers to work with for this. Then there's exponentiation, which is like to the power of. So, and you do that with a double star. So print A times B, which is to the power of. And that gives you 81 because it's 3 to the power of 4. And there's floor division, which will give you the result of a division rounded down to the nearest whole number. So if I and the way you use that is with a double divide. So if I were to type print A divide B, I'll get 0 because the answer is 0.75 and it rounds down to the next whole number. So the next section of operators are comparison operators, where you can compare two numbers. So the first one is equal. So you can see if something is equal, if a number is equal to another number. You type that with a double equals, because if you were to type 1 equals, then that means you're setting something, like if you're setting a value to a variable. So 2 equals is if you're setting something. So if I were to type A equals B, it will type false because 3 is not 4. They're different numbers. If I were to type A and then exclamation mark equals, that means not equals B. So if A is not equal to B, that says true because 3 is not equal to 4. I could also type greater than. So A is greater than B, which is false. And I could type A is less than B, which is true. I could also type greater than or equal to, which is greater than and then the equal to sign. So if I were to type A is greater than or equal to B, and then it gives me false, obviously. And if I were to type A is smaller than, less than, or equal to B, I would get true because A is less than or equal to B. The third section is assignment operators. So these are used to assign a value to something else. So the most obvious one is with a variable, where you type something equals something. So we could type C equals 5, and that's just a variable. But then there are other ones like plus equals. So if I were to type C plus equals 3, then, and I typed print C, it will now give me 8, because what that previous line has done is it's added 3, because it's basically just done C equals C plus 3, or C is what C is plus another 3. So now C is 8. And you could do this with minus as well. So if I were to type C minus equals 3, and then I type print C, it's going to give me 5 because that's 8, which is what C is now, minus 3, which is 5. And you can use this with most of, if not, I think all of the arithmetic operators. So I've just refreshed my IDLE, and the next section is logical operators, and there are 3 of these, although I can't actually show you them because otherwise IDLE will give me an error without putting them in context. But the first one is AND. So you can type if A equals 3 and B equals 4, and then it will do something if A is 3 and B is 4, and it will not do something if A isn't 3 and B isn't 4. The second one is OR. So you could have A equals 3 or B equals 4. And the reason this would be useful is if you want to run some code, if one of the statements is true. And the third logical operator is NOT. So that will reverse the outcome. So if you were to type A equals 3 and B equals 4, then you'll get true in this case because A is 3 and B is 4. However, if you were to type not A equals 3 and B equals 4, then you'll get false because you get the opposite. The next section is identity operators, and there are 2 of these. There's is and is not. And the first one is, and it will return true if both variables are the same. So if I were to type A is, and is a keyword, so it's in orange. If I were to type A is B and press enter, you get false because A is not B because 3 is not 4. However, the second one is not, and if I were to type A is not B, is not, it's also a keyword, then I get true because A is not B, and that's true. The final section of operators that I'm going to show today are membership operators. There are 2 of these, in and not in. So if I made a variable called numbers, and it's going to be a list, so equals 1, 2, and 3, and I press enter to register it as a variable, I can now type print, so it will print out something, 1 in, and in is a keyword, so it's in orange, numbers. It goes off. If I press enter, it gives true because 1, the value 1 is in numbers. However, if I were to type print 1 not in numbers, then I get false because 1 is in numbers, and if 1 was not in numbers, then it would give me true. But if I were to type print 4 not in numbers and press enter, I get true because 4 is not in numbers. There are a few more operators that I didn't show in this video because they're not really relevant for beginners. If you want to see them, you can go to the Python docs. So that's the end of episode 6. In episode 7, we will learn about if statements in Python. Thank you for watching and have a great day.